We have time for questions.
This is for the Air Canada list. Did you segment the emotions, which were really fascinating, the ones that you picked, against Aeroplan customers? And did you also take all the learnings from that and apply it to all the other media that you use?
You want to take that?
Actually, it was a mix of Aeroplan and non-Aeroplan customers. Our subscription list has, I'd say, 50-50. And yes, we do plan. We are working on, let's say, a 1-year strategy on how we can expand this to not only to other emails, but also to other digital channels.
Hello, good morning. This is a question for Chantal as well. In the artificial intelligence, are you having some sort of framework around neuro-linguistic programming to be able to understand the motivations of what people work towards or what they're risk adverse from? And did you also do it in French, or is it only done in English for really about other languages that are being supported?
So right now what we're doing is, and I can also have Chantal provide perspective, is we are actually experimenting with different type of emotions to start with, and that was a human decision on the emotions we wanted to select to experiment with. We're using a very specific emotional classification theory that's actually more detailed than the 7 or 8 emotions that everybody's looking at. And we're planning on experimenting across all the emotions so that we can understand at an individual level the emotion that makes the person act. And the second question was, yes, actually we only did it in English, but it has application on every language. So we can basically create grammatically correct sentences using the output of the mass experimentation on the fly across all, major languages.
On the emotions work, have you used social media as an input and so as an activation channel?
Not in this case, because what usually happens, and I think the difference in this approach is, what usually happens is we create a message, we then expose it, and then we look at the emotions that it creates by looking at social media or using other techniques like video, understanding of facial expressions. So that's a completely different approach. What we're trying to do is, we're trying to structure messages that up front, they score high in a specific emotion, then expose them, then read that output based on the KPI we have associated with. And in this case, the reason we also chose email is because we wanted to associate the KPI with an actual buying behavior. We didn't want to just measure the click or the open rate. We wanted to measure people who actually go and buy a ticket because of the message they received. I think we have about 2 minutes. I think we should continue with the questions for the audience. Yeah? Any other questions? Other questions? Okay, great. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone.